are Crazy Rider Chicks, here to talk to you about roller coasters and Mickey Mouse and all kinds of amusement.
Live now. So fun. And I must be on a delay because the girls are talking and I'm talking at the same time.
And Nikki's internet is really not cooperating tonight. So
'tis a big old
For some
storm
reason, mine
in Florida.
is, so.
I'll just sit here and smile. Like winter
I don't
usually
see it
does.
just yet.
you have a very nice smile.
You talking to Nikki?
Winters is better.
Winter's is better. We don't have to compare smiles.
I can't tell if you can hear me or not. Anyway,
yeah, you're moving too.
Amusement just in time for the summer. It's Nikki and Winter, and we're here again. So there's our intro. Let's go. Who's first? I don't know how long I'll be here.
Me? Well, I just wanted us to start off with our memories of, and if anyone's on the chat, they can. I can't find this right now to see them, but I'm trying. Anyway,
ironically enough,
your memories, your earliest memories of amusement parks.
For me,
and love, hate.
For me, I've always I live in San Diego, so I'm only an hour and a half, 2 hours away from like Anaheim, where Disneyland is, and now California Adventure, which I've actually never been to. It's been years now. I really should go. It's like literally in the same lot as Disneyland, and you can like walk from one to the other. And they now have it to where you can get a 2-day pass and you can go back and forth between the two. It's kind of cool. But Disney
I'm sorry. So are they related?
Yeah,
they're the same.
They're made by the same company.
Okay.
And they are supposed to be Disney Adventure is supposed to be for adults, and Disneyland is supposed to be for kids. You can both go to both sides, but it was supposed to be more, grown up. Then I'm 3 hours away from Magic Mountain, but I don't really love roller coasters, so I don't mind going sideways. I don't mind going upside down. I don't mind those two things, but I really don't like going straight down, which you pretty much do at everything at Universal Studios. I mean, not at Magic Mountain, except for the Ninja. I can get on the Ninja, but then I'm afraid of losing a shoe, so. I do like that one, though. But for me, my favorite amusement park, don't ask me why, tell me why, I'm a creative, is Universal Studios. I just love it. And so I don't remember going to everything as kids, because we used to go once a year, to Disneyland or to the different things. I think I've only gone to Magic Mountain once or twice. But Universal Studios for me is where all my memories really lie and are. And I remember going into the E.T. ride, and you get to sit in the little bike, and there's a little basket.
Yeah,
and you
that's the same
get
as
to
the
go
one
over
here.
the moon. I loved it.
And it has a smell, right? Like you're in there and it's super humid.
Probably.
Is it like that at yours? The one here in Florida, it's like, it has a particular smell. Well, it's the ride itself, though. It's like it's in the woods.
That's true.
Woods? And it's got this real humid, like musty kind of smell. And it's, you walk in, you're like, whoo, it is like, it feels like jungle.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I liked it. I thought it was. But I was like a teenager when I went on that ride, and my dad was looking at me like, seriously, because I was so excited. He was like, seriously?
It is exciting.
It's E.T.
It's not thrilling, like whoosh thrilling, it's just.
It was, it brings in the memory of the story and the enjoyment of it. And I thought it was so cool and creative, and it made me happy, people.
And it's not as scary as the not as scary as the movie. People were saying how scared they were of it.
when you really, I never had that response to it. Weirdly enough, which kinds of fits, but doesn't because it's slightly tangent-ish, but it fits people, is when you go to Disneyland and you have the 3D experience or used to of the Michael Jackson. It's like you go in and you sit down and it's a Michael Jackson event and you get the glasses and they have a whole movie with him and he jumps out at you. It was at Disneyland. It was like a 3D experience, and Michael Jackson was. Yes, it was wonderful. They eliminated it within the last few years, and my feelings are really hurt. But it was amazing. But I say that because you said people were scared of E.T. Well, I was actually scared of the Thriller video.
Yeah.
And to this day, I still can't listen to that song if I'm alone by myself in a dark room.
That's great.
And as a truck driver, there were times where I was driving and I was listening to Michael Jackson, and like I was going through like a winding mountain, and I was like, I can't. I had to change the song. I started to become afraid.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
What? That's related.
I'm sorry. Hang on just a moment.
Oh, I just froze. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear everything. I just saw that my picture had frozen. It's on the other thing.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm like switching back and forth between Facebook and this because it's not working on my phone. Facebook isn't the live, so like I can't watch it in two places. Yeah, so totally tangent. How do you say that? Tangential?
Tangentous. I don't know.
Well, my earliest memories are of my great-grandparents lived in Florida when I was little, and we came down every couple of years to visit them, and we would drive. My dad would drive all night, and this was, what is it? It's at least 15 hours, I would say.
Wow.
So we would drive down, and we'd all sleep, and then we would stay with my great-grandparents, and during the day, we would spend go a couple of times to Disney. And I was really small, like 5, 7, I don't know how old I was the last time we did that. I might have been 10 or 11. But I don't remember. I remember like the awe of it, the excitement of it. I don't know how much specifically I remember, if that makes sense. Like I remember going on the ferry. I remember, of course, you don't have that at Disneyland probably.
What was it? The number of what?
At Disney World, you can go across on a train, an elevated train, or to Magic Kingdom, or you can ride a ferry.
No, that would be cool.
Because it takes like an hour to get in to Magic Kingdom. Because once you park and then ride a trolley to the other, and then you have to go across the water. It's like across this big lake.
Like a moat?
But it's big, yeah. But and you see all their resorts and everything as you go through.
That's so cool.
It is cool, and it's part of the experience. But if you were in a rush to ride roller coasters or something,
like
it
if
wouldn't
you really
be.
Had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that wouldn't be your first choice. If you're a thriller kind of ride person, which I'm not.
It's an experience.
Yes, the whole thing, and then you go up to the gates, and it's just this big. Exciting, and I still get that feeling when I go, and I've gone a lot of times now because I live like 45 minutes from there. So we've had passes a couple years.
Come visit just so I can go for like a whole week. But like where you are, you have the parks, they're all in the same place, right? So you can
we've had
full experience.
We had passes to Universal one time. But Universal is, in general, I would say it's not as much for kids. It's mostly roller coasters and things, or not roller coasters, but like those indoor.
Shows and stuff.
I don't think they have here. I mean, they have a few shows. Nikki says she's so confused. She's here, but she's not, and she can hear and see us, but it's clear we can't see her. We cannot see you
Can
or hear
can we
you.
hear you? Have you talked? Yo yo yo.
I'm confused too.
Nikki
She,
says she's a Disney junkie.
we'll have to read her comments then, since
We'll
she's.
read any comment you write up, girl. Oh, she's talking, and we can't hear her. We apologize. We don't know why.
Her internet is just being goofy. You know, we had a big
Funky.
storm that came through not very long ago.
Oh,
It could have something to do with that.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I mean, we had big storms come through pretty much every day in the summer, but yeah, like so we did Universal as a family a few years ago, and we liked it, but a lot of the rides are more like you're on a cart or something and you're moving, but it's mostly screens in front of you. I don't know what they call those. Like a virtual ride almost, where there's a lot of what's happening isn't actually happening. It's screens all around.
So that's what the Michael Jackson thing was kind of like at Disneyland.
Oh, okay, so you're
Except
not like
for
staying in an
it was like a
auditorium.
movie theater, so it was one big one in the front, and like things would happen, and he would jump off the screen, and he would think so because of the glasses. So
Gotcha.
yeah, similar.
Nikki says it's overhead. It was a 3D movie.
Yeah. Nikki, did you see the Michael Jackson one?
Yeah,
Did you
did they
guys
have it in Florida?
In Florida?
It
was at Epcot.
Oh.
But they took it out because they took out the one from Disneyland. I was so hurt. They should like have announced it so that I could have gone one last time. It came back and I missed it again. Oh, my feelings are so hurt.
Nikki says she saw it about 1 million times, the Michael Jackson one. It was here first, then it came back, now it's gone again. I really don't remember ever seeing it. But
And
that's something my parents might have just
thing.
passed. Because we were not into secular music of any kind. So they probably just would have skipped it unless it was the only thing to do.
And it was weird, and it was all sorts of weird colors, and he had a monkey, if I remember right, and there was a roller coaster. He was going on a roller coaster in the thing, and it was fun.
Huh.
But then it switched to now. This is me not sure if Captain EO, that's right. Now,
Nikki
I'm not
says
sure
Captain
if
EO. What is that?
That was the name of it.
Oh, that was the name of the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that.
Now,
that's what it changed to.
I'm not sure if Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is Disneyland or if it's Universal Studios. But I think that's what took the place of
it.
Michael Jackson.
Here it used to be at
It's Disney. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids
took the place of it.
It's not there anymore. It was at what is it? Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that's the one.
And I don't remember.
Well, Hollywood Studios is not the same as Universal Studios.
No, the Disney. It's
our
the
Universal
Disney.
Studios is
kind of like a Disney version of Universal Studios.
Oh, Nikki says no.
No, it's not the same. And now they put in a big Star Wars thing here. They took out all of that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was this huge playground with all giant stuff, like grass that went, way over your head, and you could go through like the garden stuff, and it was really cool. And I was an adult and didn't care that I was an adult. I had a lot of fun. But they took all that out and they put in a Star Wars thing that I haven't seen yet because I haven't been back there in a couple of years. Nikki says the playground rocked.
Well, Nikki says she knows all things Disney. She's the expert. Star Wars is amazing.
I'm sure it is. I just haven't gotten a chance to.
She says they outdid themselves. Well, I haven't done the Star Wars, and at Disneyland they have a ride. The one roller coaster that I would get on was Space Mountain, and it's probably because it was dark inside, which actually is probably why I shouldn't have gotten on it. But I think I got on it because I think a cousin of mine made me, and then afterwards. I was like, oh, it's great. And it didn't have a lot of major dips, just a couple small ones. But they just redid it, and I'm afraid to go back in because I think they might have added more dips. But I loved it. Like,
No, I bet
a
they
long
didn't
time ago.
change the.
'Cause
I bet
it
they
did
didn't
a
change
lot
the
of
roller
things.
coaster. I bet they just changed
I
the
don't know.
lighting and stuff. Oh, Nikki
I
says
don't know. It was down for a while.
that Star Wars is way better than Avatar, which is saying something.
Oh, that
And
is weird.
that she rode.
Avatar. I didn't know there
What's
was an
it?
Avatar thing.
There, it's here at Animal Kingdom. It's pretty amazing.
Oh. Okay, like how many parks do you
So-
have, and how many days do I need to be there so I can enjoy them all? And can you enjoy one park in one day, or do you need multiple days?
Depends on how busy it is there. Nikki says, wait, we have to go back to what Nikki says. First, she said she rode Space Mountain, I think she said, with the lights on when she worked at Disney, and it was insane.
I saw that.
And that then
Disney
it may have
World,
been a
though,
normal refurbish. It takes them forever to refurbish things, which is probably what it is. You could probably go back on Space Mountain. I doubt they changed the roller coaster itself. They probably just like
Okay.
update everything so it looks better. And then she
Nikki, if I have
says,
a dip, I'm coming after you.
Disney has 4 parks. Stay 100 days. No joke. That's what I used to do. I would take Trooper like at least once a week. We would go to Disney
A different
when we
one.
had passes. We would see
Well-
what had the best fast passes available and pick those. Go to that park and get the three best rides we could.
You have to come visit me so we can go to Disneyland. It's smaller, but you can get to everything in a day. So basically where we are is at Disneyland. All of the parks that you have individually, ours are all combined into one. So when I heard that Disney World was separated, I was like, they just want more tickets. But they really are bigger. Hey, Trooper.
Oh, there's a lot. There's so much. Each one is a whole day of, or more. You could spend a couple days at them if you didn't ever go there before. And Nikki says, yes, going to Disneyland.
The
Come see
holidays
you.
must be crazy, though.
We only
Because
ever went
ours-
not on holidays. We would go not on holidays, not in the summer. So if you're going to come, I tell people all the time, take your kids out of school. Come when it's school time so that you actually get to see and do things. Otherwise, you spend so much time in line.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
getting the fast passes too. Like there are only so many fast passes per ride per day. And you can only book them
And everybody
so far in
gets them.
advance. Everybody
So
gets
it's
3.
still a lie.
Yeah, everyone gets 3. So like you
only get 3?
You get 3 a day. And then if you use all 3 of them,
Oh.
you get the option to add another one.
So at Disneyland, unless they've changed it, it was different. You could go to the front of the line. Like they have 2 different lines now, one for the fast pass and one for the not fast pass.
Right. Yeah, they have that.
So, but it wasn't only 3 rides. It was like any ride.
Well, no, I mean like you can use it for 3. Like you get 3 fast passes and you pick where you want to use those.
Yeah, you only 3 rides, right?
But it could be there's a lot of rides you could pick from. And some of them are hard to get fast passes for because everyone's got them. And Nikki says she always tells people the same thing. The parks are best on a random Tuesday afternoon when the rest of the world is working or at school. What does it say? Ours is the same. Things have changed big time with the pandemic, though. I think fast pass isn't even up right now. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Because they don't have a lot of people right now. They're not letting very many people in.
They don't need it.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, that makes sense that you wouldn't really need it.
Okay, so let's talk about this. You have the Disneyland, but aren't you guys also close to Universal Studios and all that other stuff? Or no? Okay. So, like, including all of those parks, how many parks do you guys have within an hour, 2 hours time?
Nikki
And what are
is.
they? Because you got SeaWorld too.
We have SeaWorld that's close.
I have a SeaWorld in San Diego.
As far as, and then there's like
Let's work
Fun
there.
Spot that's more like a carnival. I wouldn't pay full price to go there necessarily. I think it's for people who are just in town for a long time and they don't want to get passes anywhere probably. And then, because yeah, it's really like carnival rides. It's not anything spectacular. Oh,
I was
so
asking what are all. Go ahead.
yeah, well, I was going to ask Nikki if she remembers how far Busch Gardens is from here. I think it's a couple hours, and we haven't been there yet. I didn't. I mean, we went when I was a kid, but I can't. I don't have like conscious memories of it. Yeah, it's
But
near
isn't
Tampa.
Busch Gardens affiliated with Disney? Oh no, it's affiliated with
SeaWorld.
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 It's SeaWorld.
So you can
Because they
get a
have
dual pass.
the horses. Yeah.
Well, supposedly
that's
they
kinda
don't
cool.
here anymore. Do they have them at yours? Do you? They used to have.
No,
the
they don't
horses
have
here.
the horses at them, but they have like the pictures of them. And I
Nikki
only knew
says
that
Busch-
because I worked
oh.
there.
Nikki says the Busch Gardens isn't a lot of fun unless you like beer and roller coasters. But don't they have like a zoo and stuff there?
So it's like a Magic Mountain.
I mean, again, I haven't
Yeah.
been since I was really small. I have.
Horses.
I
are
thought they
gone.
had a
Okay.
zoo. I thought like a ferry ride thing where you would see the animals. Oh, poor Nikki can only hear bits and pieces.
Aw.
We have SeaWorld passes this year
Nice.
because this is where people wanted to go. And I know they've gotten a lot of flack for things, but actually they really are. I mean, they're really good. They do so much
They're great.
conservation and so much.
They're really great to the animals.
They really are. And it's
Hey.
nice. And they do a lot for, Nikki says she likes SeaWorld too. They have a great conservation program. And they do a lot of like rescuing animals and rehabilitating them and then releasing them if they can be, or putting them in appropriate zoos and things if they can't be released.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, I worked at
Educational
SeaWorld and I
stuff,
worked
yeah.
at Shamu Stadium and obviously Killer Wells, where every well is Shamu. And if a kid asks, which one is Shamu? You just park to the biggest well, like that one. Shamu, I think, was though in the 50s, if I recall correctly. Probably wrong. Don't judge me. But what I wanted to say was that there were some wells there, and they had lost their teeth. So with them, like if they had been released in the wild, they wouldn't have been able to survive. So sometimes animals are there because they can't survive.
Right, they're
outside.
injured. Yeah, they have like
Yeah,
SeaWorld. They
of
have
some
like
sort.
sea turtles that are missing part of their mouth, or like a
Yeah.
flipper, or I don't know if they're called flippers in a sea turtle, but their arms or whatever, so they couldn't survive.
Yeah.
Because they've been
Yeah,
injured in boat
and I
crashes.
agree with Nikki. They have a lot of educational stuff for kids, and very informative. I learned a lot of information, and I didn't even work with the animals. I was a hostess. I cleaned the stadiums before and after shows. I stood at the gate and I wouldn't let you in until it was time. But all that time I learned a ton of stuff while I was there. It's like, now it's like 20 years ago, people, but seriously.
We don't claim to be spring chickens, right? Crazy, but not spring.
But I do know that educational moment for SeaWorld. For all the people who take their kids to SeaWorld and Shamu Stadium, where we go. Nikki's coming back. Killer whales have interlocking
Am I
teeth,
here?
so that means you're here. So that means that it's kind of like a zipper. When you zip something up, that's how their teeth work. So when you're at Shamu Stadium and you lift your kid to put their hand over into the water, you are risking your child's hand. Don't
Yeah,
do
that
it.
doesn't sound smart, because they're used to getting fish hanging over there like that.
Well, and not only that, like you would see, parents wouldn't do it, but they would lift their kids to do it. I'm like, okay, let's talk about this. They're not going to discriminate whether you're a kid or not. And the thing is that it takes it takes the trainers there years upon years upon years to even get up to the level to work at Shamu Stadium or with the killer whales. They start with the other animals first and they work their way up. If I remember correctly, I think it takes them about 7 years even to start working at Shamu Stadium. It takes them a few years, and then once they start working at Shamu Stadium, they have to start from one well and work their way up to another well. So if the people who have degrees who can actually swim to touch the bottom of their habitat are very particular about which wells they can touch and work with and talk to and feed, just don't attempt to touch a killer whale. It's basically what that whole promo was about. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
They are not
No.
Free Willy.
Yeah. So
But
Nikki,
I saw it a lot.
that's crazy to me. I wouldn't even think of doing that. Although I did pet a zebra
guy
at a zoo
jumped
once,
in.
and a lady's like screamed at me. Not screamed at me. She was like, "What are you doing? They're so dangerous." And I was like, "I don't know." Just came up and sniffed me, and so I pet it.
What was it?
A zebra. And I guess
Oh.
they can be dangerous, but like if it was really that dangerous, they wouldn't have had them just up where you could reach your hand in and pet them, right?
Yeah. Are they similar to horses? Or are they like, is their personality
They're not like
similar to
horses. No, I don't think so.
No.
They're
Okay.
a lot more
I
wild.
know
But
nothing about zebras.
I thought
Can
they were
anyone
fine.
hear me? Am I here?
We hear you right
Yes. Hi. And not anymore. No.
now. No.
Oh.
But she says she has a friend. This isn't her comment from earlier. She has a friend who's the large animal vet for the tigers. I'm assuming she means at like Animal Kingdom, probably.
Or the zoo.
And
There was
That's
another
cool.
dog there
She's
somewhere.
Oh, we should have her on
Oh,
one day
maybe I
if she's
missed it.
willing.
amazed at some of the stories she shared. Do you mean about people doing crazy, dumb things?
Oh, probably.
No,
We could
the
talk about
animals
that
they
for
get.
days. Oh, then not. Okay.
Oh, like things that happen to
I'm
them,
on a
or
delay.
yeah.
Back to the way I was and just got.
Can't. We only heard just a tidbit of that.
Yes, it would be very much fun to have someone who was like with the animals or something at one of those parks to talk about that kind of thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah. She does have a great smile, though. That was a really great smile. We have the zoo here. We have the wild animal park, the ones you drive through. And then we also have we have Legoland here.
Oh yeah, we have Legoland too. I've never been. They told
And
us it was
Knott's Berry Farm.
and what?
Knott's KNOTT''S. Knott's Berry Farm. That's where Charlie Brown and gang are.
Oh,
Snoopy, Charlie Brown.
okay. I didn't hear about that at all.
Can't tell you which other. Yeah, it's kind of cool. My sister loved it, so she took her kids there all the time.
I think Nikki's asking about. She said she's never been. I think she's talking about Legoland and never had the desire. Is it any good? I have heard from a lot of people
Not been, but I've heard it's amazing, even for adults.
Here the people I've talked to have said that for kids it's fine, but for adults it's just not very
Or
interesting.
not. I don't know. I like.
Now it might not be the
things.
same as yours either, but it's just that it's really
I've never been.
kid-focused rides. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't go because we talked about it, and people were like, "I don't want to spend that much money on something that's really more for 6-year-olds," when we could go to SeaWorld or something instead, where there's stuff for everybody and all the educational. But I mean, I know other people. I have friends who they had. I don't know if they're doing it now. I think they're doing SeaWorld now, but they would go pretty much every weekend to Legoland. But their daughter's 4, and so they would just go. And she really loved it. But I don't know that. I think there's a water park with Legoland now too, and that's a whole other thing. So
almost everybody has a water park except for Disneyland. I think even Magic Mountain does. Maybe not. But Knott's Berry Farm does, and SeaWorld has a water park. And then they have one next to it, and then they have one like across town that they're affiliated with.
Yeah, we have. I can't remember what's called
Oh,
off the top of my
Disney
head.
has 2 water parks. I'm not sure about Magic Mountain. I'm
I don't.
as a
She
truck
doesn't. Probably doesn't
driver,
know what
I was
Magic Mountain
actually.
is. I don't
You
think
don't
she
know what
was
Magic
listening.
Mountain is?
She probably doesn't
It's
because
a
she
roller
was probably
coaster
off.
park. Like major death-defying drop, like straight ones where you go all the way up and then you just sit there, and then it's an elevator and it goes drop, and it's like a free fall, and they have a lot of crazy stuff like that. Thank you.
Nikki says, "Ooh, no, thank you." Yeah, I'm not really a roller coaster person
I'm with
either.
you.
Not since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I liked them better, but I get so sick from everything now, and I'll get a headache. But I was thinking about Cedar Point is considered like the world's. I think they advertise it like the world capital roller coaster capital of the world or something like that. It's in Ohio
Where? Oh,
somewhere, and I went
do
as
they
a
have a Magic
teenager.
Mountain there, or is it something else?
It's
Or
just
is that
called
the name
Cedar
of the
Point.
park?
Cedar Point is the name of the
Okay.
park, and it's a roller coaster for like roller coaster junkies. That's where they go. They don't care about Disney World because Disney is about atmosphere and experience, all these things. But if you just want to go ride roller coasters, it's probably a lot like Magic Mountain. It's probably the same idea. These huge. Nikki says
So Nikki
first
says
Disney. Oh, go ahead.
her first Disney job was Thunder Mountain, a roller coaster.
I like that one.
Yeah. Nikki, question. Did you enjoy working at Disneyland? How long did you do it? And did you jump around to a bunch of different things there? And she can handle Disney rides, but not the roller coasters. Okay. Uh, she's not a fan of the roller coasters at Universal Studios. You know what scared me at Universal Studios? Well, it didn't scare me. I just knew there was a big drop. So like at Disneyland, I won't do Splash Mountain because of course dip. And then
it's
okay,
fun.
I have to tell you though, it is fun. Okay, listen. And I have to psych myself up for Pirates of the Caribbean. But I have to go. I mean, it's the song. And plus, after that initial dip, I have the whole time to like get over. Exactly. I have the whole time to get over the dip. But Splash Mountain's at the end, so I have the whole ride to anticipate it, and it's just not the way to go.
He says that's the tiniest dip in the world. She doesn't even think you can call that a dip.
At all. It's a dip.
Maybe it's
My
bigger at
stomach
Disneyland.
feels it.
Maybe Disneyland is bigger than the one here. But
It's
I don't know how to scroll up to see her other.
Talking and
She said she loved working there, but only if only they had paid better. She worked at attractions for a year and then worked in entertainment for a few years after that. And she says Winter's a wimp.
That's cool. I love you too. I think the dip on Space Mountain is actually smaller than the Pirates of the Caribbean one, which is why I do it. And then Thunder Mountain, I'll get on because there are practically no dips. But that's what I was saying. At Universal Studios, Jurassic Park has a big dip at the end.
It has a big drop, like Splash Mountain, yeah. Those scare me, but I still like them.
What?
Like they scare me, but I like them. Like I like the thrill of it.
I feel like I'm dying. I can never skydive.
I can't remember the name of it now. Nikki might know. There's a roller coaster at SeaWorld. And we're like, it doesn't look that bad. Oh, that she said wimp. She's like, don't share that. She said, wait, don't wear that. Don't share that. Right after I said it. But there's one at SeaWorld that after we were in line, I read about it and it's like, oh, it's the fastest, biggest drop in like America or something like that. I don't remember. But we were already up there. We'd already been in line for like 45 minutes. And by then you're like, oh, I already waited all this time. So we went on it. Who was it? Jonathan, my dad, me, and somebody else. My sister, maybe? I can't remember for sure. But it was really bad. Like, I mean, not bad like it's a bad ride, but it was not for me. Because you go down, it's one of those things where you're going so fast down the hill that you're like you know, like, like you can't breathe anymore, and then it just keeps going and going. Like you would hate it, up and down. And then like
So
the next half of the day is no good. Briar says hi.
yeah, okay, so I can clarify. I have been to Magic Mountain at least 2 times, and I'll tell
Mako,
you
yeah, I
why.
think.
The first time I got on rides, right? Got on rides. Um, and that's where I learned that if you try to scream and you're me and you're afraid of a roller coaster going down, no sound comes out. I'm not one of the people who can scream and go. Like they say, if you scream, it releases it. It does not, because no sound comes out. I'm that terrified. It hurt. Like my belly doesn't like that feeling.
Yeah, I
It's a
forced myself
tickle,
to
but it's like
breathe.
for me, I don't
If you
enjoy
force
it.
yourself to
And
breathe, it's better. No, I don't enjoy that either.
and
I don't.
my
Nikki
head
says she
gets
can't do those
lightheaded
ones.
too, the two together.
Yeah, I feel sick after that
I
for
just
usually a couple hours. It
I feel
takes a
like
long
it's
time.
never going to stop. Like I try to count, it's never going to stop.
Yeah. Oh, the
But
ride? Yeah,
I'm one of the
exactly.
odd people. I'm odd because I don't like the down. And there are people, lots of people who like the down, but don't like going upside down and going sideways, and that I don't mind doing.
My worst
So
thing
like,
is spinning. If it spins around in circles,
yeah.
that's what's really going to get me the worst.
And see, I like those. I like to go in that little spaceship thing that goes around, and you're like gravity held to the wall,
As a
and
kid,
then
I
you can
did.
like
I
turn
cannot.
upside down, and we're like, better change before it stops. But
Nikki says she cannot
yeah,
go upside down.
yeah.
But I would
don't
rather
mind.
do that than spin around. Like if I had to pick, which I don't because I'm an adult and no one can tell me I have to do one. But if I had to pick, I would pick a loop or something like that over spinning. She says,
Okay,
ugh, I hate spinning.
I'll do
Mission
both.
Space is the worst ride in the world.
What is that? What's the park is that?
I don't know.
Now I have to look it up.
Oh, Epcot.
Epcot.
Oh, is that the one where you're in like a little you were like in a spaceship? You feel like you're in a spaceship, and I
Is
didn't
that
know
the
it
one I'm
was
talking
spinning.
about? And you feel
She
connected,
says
and
she
you
cried
feel
like
like
a
you're
baby.
connected to the. Oh,
But you
honey.
can't see anything outside.
Okay.
You're like in a little shuttle thing. And if you go, especially if you go on the red version, there's like a red version and a blue version, and one is easier than the other. And if you go on the harder one, it's a lot like more intense. And yeah, it can make you sick. But we love
I
like
don't know
test
what it
track
is
at
about
Epcot.
me.
It just shoots you really fast in a like you're on a racetrack or an off-road racetrack, and it's a little jerky, but it's fun. Nikki says it's miserable. Her nephew makes fun of her all the time. Remember that time when you got sick on?
You know what? They have these rides. Okay, so like at this is one of those things that I can actually get on in Magic Mountain, and and they have these kind of things at like fairs where you can you get on, and it's like a circular thing.
The cage. It looks like a cage, kind of.
And then it goes, and then it turns sideways, and it goes like this. That I'm fine with. It's and I can go around. I can go down. I just can't go straight down in anything. Well, facing forward. Maybe it's the facing forward.
Because
There was one ride. I don't know. Maybe, but there was one ride at Magic Mountain that does a reverse. You go forward and then you go backwards. And I'm not sure if it was as bad. I will never be able to tell you because I'll never go on it again. But I think it might not have been as bad going backwards. There's little things like at
Gyrosphere. Is that what it's called? She says gyrosphere. Ooh,
I don't
we just saw one
remember.
at the fair, and I can't believe they still run those things. And what is her?
Maybe.
Come on, Tia, don't be a baby. You can do it. Oh.
You want to know?
Her nephew tries to convince her to get back on the ride. No, I will not be bullied onto something like that. As a kid, I didn't have a choice. It was like, we paid this money, you're going, right?
Okay. You want to know?
And now I'm like, Trooper, no, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Because you know what
ride
didn't...
scares me the most?
What?
and you're gonna laugh at me,
Probably.
but it's the swings.
Oh yeah. I used to
Okay, let
love
me
the
tell you
swings.
why
Now they
though.
make me sick.
I love swinging, but the thought of it going around and my particular swing being the one to let go and swing me across the park where I don't know where I'm gonna land. That's I don't know why, but that like the
Well, it
I can't
feels
get over that
free.
fear
Like
or
you're
the
just
thought.
on a chain hanging and swinging around. It doesn't feel as safe.
Yeah,
Nixie
no.
says Expedition Everest goes backward. I think it's cool. That's at Animal Kingdom. And
Oh.
we did not realize that. We took Trooper on it, telling him it's not really that bad. And then we got to that part and we're like, I'm sorry, we lied to you. And I was sick.
Wait,
Going
wait, say
backward was
that
worse.
again. What happened?
At Expedition Everest at Animal Kingdom, you go forward and it's this intense ride and then a roller coaster, mostly indoor. And you come up to a point and then you fall backward and you go backward for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, I mean, it's really sickening to me. Everything's sickening to me, as you know. But Nikki thinks it's cool, and she agrees that she will not do the swings. And soaring, yeah, soaring is that's at Epcot. And that's one of those rides where you're kind of
Oh,
like
it's actual
hanging on
ride.
it's like you're on a hang glider kind of thing. You don't really do much moving, actually. You're mostly just hanging there, and there's wind blowing on you, and then there's a big screen in front of you. And it's like you're flying across the world. It shows you
And
different
fall.
overhead.
You fall to the ground and hurt yourself.
But you couldn't. No, you're all strapped in. But it kind of feels like you're just flying. But yeah, she says it's the illusion that I'm going to fall out that freaks me out. For me, it's the motion of it. It's like being in an action movie, but it's all around you. You're just like floating, and it makes me sick.
Okay, so our fair, the one that didn't come this year, my nephews are really disappointed about. There's a couple of things that I can do. I don't know why I can do it, but I actually like, which makes no sense. But I actually like this swinging boat. Maybe because it only goes up so high. I do. And then we have a thing called the zipper, and it's a cage thing, and like it looks like a little bird cage, and there's a lot of them. And it basically goes like this, but you're in it and it rocks. It rocks, and it can flip over, and it goes around and around, and so you never know what's gonna happen. But if you're a black person who wears weave, don't do it because your hair might come out before you get to the exit. It was happened to my sister, and it was hilarious. She wore a ponytail, and she added extra hair, and when we got off, that hair was not there anymore.
Oh man, Nikki says, "LOL." We used to sometimes in Delaware, we would find them like hair pieces on the side of the road, like they probably came off in the wind, like they had their windows down or something, and you'd find like. And my dog Alethea, she was always like, "What is this?" And she was so interested. It's like, "No, that's somebody's fake like hair. Don't." Oh, Nikki says they found them when they worked at Thunder Mountain. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. That's at night they had to walk around the mountain for lost and found.
I have a question. Did you find a lot of missing shoes from rides where people's feet were hanging?
She says she wouldn't believe the stuff we
rides where your
found.
feet hang at Disneyland?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about that. Besides like Soarin' or something that you could easily get it. She says she never worked at a ride with hanging feet, but at Universal they do.
Corner cabinet where the microwave is.
I usually avoid.
Sorry.
Um,
What do we avoid?
well, I usually avoid things that are anything that I think will be sickening. Like sometimes when we would go to Universal again during school hours, they would like there would be very little line, and there were times when we would go on it's not the Hagrid motorcycle because that's a new one that we haven't been to yet.
Oh,
the Griffin one.
Yes,
There was the one where you're like on the Griffin.
Really cool.
And that's something, I'm not a Universal person, I would say in general, but the Harry Potter world is amazing. It is worth, if you're into Harry Potter, it is worth going just for that. Nikki says, yes, agreed. Um,
I have a
and that
confession to
Hagrid
make.
ride, we would ride it like 3 times in a row because there was no line. I would ride it with Trooper while Jonathan was on one of the bigger roller coasters. And then I would be sick. It's just a little roller coaster. Like, it's not a bad one, but it's still too much. She says they did a great job with that. And she's also saying that she worked at Frontierland.
They did. I have a small little big confession to make. It's small and big all at the same time. So most of the people know here that I am like 97% vegan, right? So, but you have to understand, like Harry Potter started a really long time ago, and I've always wanted to taste butter beer. So I went to Disneyland and I was like, can you just keep the cream off? And I got me a butter beer. I was so happy.
And did you like it?
I loved it. I probably won't have it again because I felt bad having it, but I mean, I had to have that experience.
Nikki says they go once a year and only for Harry, and she doesn't think there's any real butter in it. And I'm sure
No,
there's
I don't
not.
think there's butter in
It's
it,
like
but I'm not
butterscotch.
sure. I think there might. I'm wondering if there's milk in it. I don't know.
If
And
so,
I
I
don't
think it's
want to
mostly like
know.
corn syrup.
People,
Mostly corn
unless someone
syrup.
finds
She
out
thought
if
it was
it's
gross.
vegan, then tell me. But if it's not, don't tell me.
Pumpkin juice was nasty too, she says.
What pumpkin juice? Who
They
likes
sell
pumpkin juice?
butterbeer and pumpkin juice at Harry Potter World. Here.
Oh, not at ours. Or
I got a
I
cat
didn't
here.
see the
Sorry.
pumpkin juice.
Um,
That's interesting.
I didn't like it. I mean, we all
Was it
shared
good? No?
a butterbeer just to taste it.
You didn't
And
like
like
it?
I could never just drink it. Like it was like, oh, that's just tastes like drinking one of those butterscotch candies.
The candies. Yep. I enjoyed it. Well, and butterscotch, I believe, is. Let me just not say that. I told myself that it was vegan. I think I actually looked it up, but I don't know. So now I have to go research it. And if it is,
Yeah,
make
I
me
mean, like
feel better.
caramel's not. Yeah, caramel usually is made out of milk. I think it's always made out of
True.
milk. I don't think it's caramel if it's not made out of milk.
Can we talk, since we're talking about food though, can we talk about creatures that eat your food when you're at the amusement park? Like,
Well, I was thinking, yeah,
at
like
our
fair
SeaWorld,
food
the
or amusement
seagulls
park
will
food.
take the churros out of your hand. Like,
There
and
are
but
at
what's
SeaWorld
cool?
what are they? Not ibises, some kind of fishing birds that when you're trying to feed like the seals, because you can buy like 5 little fish to feed the seals at the seal park place, and you have to watch them because they will come behind you like with what you're holding while you're doing this. I guess if I get a pie, it's like you have your cup here and then you're doing this, and they'll come right next to you and grab it out of your cup while you're trying to feed, or they'll jump over and grab it out of your hand while you're trying to throw it. Like,
They become very bold. Very,
yes,
very bold.
yes.
But here's the cool thing. If you're ever at Disneyland or SeaWorld and a seagull does come and take your churro out of your hands, you can walk up to the stand and say, my churro was stolen by a seagull, and they'll give you another one.
It's so funny. Like I dropped my ice cream.
And half the time they see it happen, and they're like, here, just here. But Nikki wants to talk about the food and wine festival. I've never.
Oh my goodness! There's all these comments that it didn't keep scrolling down. I missed
can't
all of
see
it.
the
Sorry.
video. I haven't been able to find the video.
Oh no, I'm talking about Nikki. It didn't scroll down. I didn't know she was talking about it.
Oh yeah,
They
just
shared it
asked.
too. It was too
She wants to
much.
talk about it. Yeah.
So, are you talking about the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, at SeaWorld? I've never participated in
what's
them.
vegan now? No. Did it really? I'm going to Universal Studios. Universal Studios.
Epcot,
People.
she says. Epcot's the
Butterbeer
only real
just got
food
a
and wine
vegan
festival.
makeover, and it's officially vegan now. Are you just saying that, or is it really really a thing? Because I really would get excited about that.
She says, yes, the internet says so. That's funny.
Even the cream on top? No, probably not the cream on top. You probably have to say
No,
cream.
I bet the cream is like starch and corn syrup and like Whipped topping. If you buy whipped topping, usually doesn't actually have any milk in it.
Did you know they have vegan marshmallows?
She shared a link so you can try it. That's funny.
I'm totally going to check
Heard
that
that
link
they
out.
have vegan marshmallows, but I don't
We
I don't
bought
know
some
why my
once
thing won't
for the
scroll
kids,
down and show
I
me the
didn't
new
tell them
products.
they were vegan.
Well, like Oreos.
Oh, there is more. Oreos are indeed vegan. Not healthy, but vegan. You don't have to be. Listen, you can be vegan and unhealthy. It's a thing. You have to choose whether you're going to be a healthy vegan or an unhealthy vegan. But I do more Oreo almond milkshakes. They're good. Okay, I'm excited about the butterbeer, people.
So here's a question. If you get to go to a park with someone, who do you like to go with? Like what kind, I guess, like, would you like to go with a whole group of friends? Would you go with just family? Would you go with kids? Like, or does it depend on the park?
It gets so chaotic if you have so many people. I would enjoy myself if it was just like between 1 to 4 people. Because then you can pair off if you want to, and then if only 2 of you wants to get on a ride, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Even numbers is nice.
Even numbers is nice.
Nikki says she doesn't like people, so just her husband.
I wouldn't mind
general,
just
I
going
prefer
just
a
2 of
smaller
us.
group.
I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever gone with just me and one other person.
Jonathan used to go with John.
Cool.
They went to like Six Flags and stuff because they both like the same kinds of rides. That's the thing, is going with somebody who likes the same kind of thing that you like.
That's the key.
But the bigger
Otherwise, one of
the
you's gonna be
group
waiting at the
is,
exit the whole time.
The bigger the group is, like
It gets
the
chaotic.
longer it takes to do anything and the harder it is to actually get to where you're trying to go. And oh wait, I need a bathroom. Oh wait, I need a snack. Oh, I'm hot. You know, like it just gets more and more
then
crazy.
deciding where to eat is an issue. And then, can we talk about the prices though of eating?
Wait, first, let me read Nikki. So she says, we haven't taken the kids yet, and they're dragging their feet. And they went to Disney on their first date. Oh, that's sweet. But she was talking about the Food and Wine Festival too. So this is back to that topic then about food.
Cool.
We went on not our honeymoon, on our second honeymoon, I guess you would say.
Major
our first trip that we ever got to go on, we came down to Florida and went to Disney, just the 2 of us, and it was nice. So Nikki says she thinks the Food and Wine Festival at Epcot is worth it. It's expensive, but worth it. I've never tried it. I've been there when they were doing it, but I've never participated.
Do you know if they have vegan options? Like, is it worth it for me to go? Or am I just going to watch everybody else enjoy their food?
She says when large groups go, they stop in. Oh, so they'll go and hang out with people a little bit, but then they leave instead of getting bogged down with everybody.
Gotcha. So everyone goes do their own thing. They meet at a certain point, hang out, go back out. Yeah, we've done that.
They had their reception at Disney. Interesting.
Yes, vegan options at all locations, according to Nikki. When do they have this festival? And how long does it last? I'm going to move to Florida just so I can get an annual pass at every amusement park in Orlando. Like, I will seriously go every week.
If you have, you have to have property. That's the thing. Or, bills, right? I don't think you have to have property.
Not vegan?
She can pull last year's menu and tell you how many stops have vegan options. That's cool.
I mean, at least they have them so I can schedule my time.
Yeah, and you only have to have a bill. So you don't have to own property, but you would have to rent or live somewhere enough to get bills sent to that place.
What's your address? What's your address, Becca? I'll send you.
Start sending me your bills. Start sending your bills to me. Thanks. That's exactly what I needed.
It's okay. I know you and Jonathan love me, and
we do love you.
That you would want this for me.
She says there's a lot of both.
You want me.
And they have a friend who's vegetarian, had a lot to choose from, and there's more every year. And I'm trying to think, is that you don't pay one price though, right? You just go with $100 and oh no, suddenly I feel like I'm the only person here. well, Winter disappeared or I disappeared. One of us did. So my question, Nikki, is do they have, is there a way to pay in to get like a, oh, I'm here. Okay. The food is separate. Okay. I was wondering if there was a way to do like a bulk, oh, you know, you pay $100 and then you can eat as much as you want kind of thing. So you pay for your entrance to the park and then your food separately. But if you have a pass already, of course, then you're in there and they want you to spend. They had the food festival at SeaWorld. But again, like we walk by and it's like $11 for this little thing. And you're like, I don't know. And yeah, it's almost 9 and everybody is gone but me. So yeah, I think Nikki's asking, do we want to wrap it up? And I think that's a very good idea. Oh, announcement though, before we go. So we are taking off the month of July. There won't be any lives, at least that we've planned. So we will see you in August with some new ideas and conversations. And anything else that Nikki needs, oh, I'm like scrolling through her comments. Yes, it's an awesome send off. Nobody's internet's working and I'm sitting here by myself. So anyway, have a great summer and we will see you back closer to when school starts. So have a good night, everyone. Bye.